Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to PayPal at Deem by any means. There go to Cash App. $ Deem by any means. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you leave $2, $20, $200. It's much appreciated. Hey y'all, it's getting spicy, y'all. It's getting real spicy. Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis presser was some of the most entertaining stuff that I have seen in a while. If people weren't interested in Frank Martin prior to this, oh, the people, the casuals, they really gonna be interested in Frank Martin now, especially all the people that dislike Gervonta Davis. Now, let me explain why I am so excited about this fight for a multitude of reasons. Number one, because David Benavidez is on the undercard. That's number one. And also somebody close to me and my friends are also on the undercard of that. I come to find out. But we'll talk about that closer to the fight. Um, the fact that Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez have a connection, and I know that is something that they have built, over the last couple years or so. The fact that Gervonta Davis went out of his way to make sure that David Benavidez was on his undercard, and just to see David Benavidez be so appreciative and understand that, like, what I like about David Benavidez is that David Benavidez and Boots and Jerron Ennis, what they got in common is that they know who they are. They know that they are superstars and entities, amongst themselves, but they're humble enough to show Gervonta the respect that they understand where he is in the sport. See, us as men, the part I respect is bigging up another man when you see he earned what he's earned. And Gervonta Davis has showed David Benavidez that respect, and David Benavidez is definitely showing Gervonta Davis that respect. And it's just something beautiful to see in boxing. Two of the best boxers in boxing right now, two of the most exciting fighters in boxing right now. And I'll throw Jerron Ennis in there with those other two because of the relationship Jerron Ennis has with Gervonta Davis also. The fact that Tank recognized these other young men talents and is trying his best to push them forward and let them know that he got their back. Now Boots went over to Matchroom, but that ain't got nothing to do with Gervonta Davis in the business, because we all know if Boots was probably on PBC, he would be on one of these undercards. If not this fight with Gervonta Davis, more than likely it would have been Gervonta Davis's next big pay-per-view fight that probably would take place at the end of this year. So a lot of people dislike Gervonta Davis and a lot of things like that, but at the same time, Tank does a lot for the sport of boxing. Tank making sure that David Benavidez is getting his shout out to my guy, just do. The fact that Gervonta Davis is making sure that David Benavidez is getting his just due, man, is just something that I love to see. Similar to Shakur Stevenson, what he does for Keyshawn Davis and Big Baby Anderson, and what Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford do for Shakur Stevenson. It's something that I just love to see, and it's a beautiful thing. And now let's talk about Frank Martin. Frank Martin came out swinging, y'all. See, everybody think Frank this quiet dude, but if you've been following like I've been following, you know all of this animosity really started from Frank Martin, not Gervonta Davis. It has been Earl Spence and Frank Martin kind of poking at Gervonta Davis throughout the years, throughout the last 2 years, and now we here. And Gervonta Davis has seen all this stuff. Frank has done interviews talking about he's hurt Tank, that he's not scared of Tank, that that's the fight he want, that when they was sparring, he was giving Tank the business. And that actually is stuff that I believe. Because Gervonta Davis did everything but confirm it when they was on that stage, and Frank said, yeah, I agree. You know what happened. Yeah, you know what happened. And Gervonta, this one you know is true because Gervonta gets very excited. When Gervonta Davis knows something true but feel like you're not telling it all, that's when he gets really hyped. Now, it was one punch. It was one punch in the first round. Frank like, so what? So what? You know what's up. So what? You know I ain't them, though. That's what I'm saying. And that let me know what Frank Martin was saying was the absolute truth. And then Gervonta Davis started hitting low because Frank Martin was talking while Gervonta Davis was trying to be humble and give David Benavidez his props and all that. Frank Martin talking all through his his soliloquy at the beginning, right? And Frank Martin was just on demon time. Frank Martin put his finger all in Gervonta Davis' face. Gervonta Davis slapped his hand out the way. I said, oh, yeah, this game is real. Yeah, it's real. Tank talking about, yeah, I'm going to beat you up in front of all them people you be rolling with. Yeah, them. I really want to do it more so they know. We all know who, if you're a casual fan and don't know what Gervonta Davis was referencing in that point, he was talking about Errol Spence Jr. He was talking about Errol Spence Jr. And that's because Earl and Tank have a friendship. Earl and Tank are very good friends, okay? Now, this has created a little trash talk amongst the squad, but it's just basically like Big Bro telling Tank, yeah, my little bro will get you, though. My little bro will get you. Tank, man, he ain't best of me. He ain't get no best of me. He ain't get no best of me. Y'all know how Tank is. Yeah, Earl been talking crazy. Yeah, I got somebody for you, though. And then that's where all of those things, transpire. And Frank Martin did not back down at all. Gervonta Davis hit below the belt talking about the only thing we got in common is that girl you be with. Oh, it's up now. Oh, it is up. But what I love so much is that I could see the respect that Gervonta Davis had for Frank Martin. You might say, Dean, what you mean by respect? He was in there wilding out. Absolutely. Because somebody that Gervonta Davis don't respect. First of all, Gervonta Davis didn't respect him. He'd be trying to clown him more how he did Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia. But I think this is somebody that Gervonta Davis is taking very seriously. That's why you didn't see him smiling too much in this press conference. That let me know that he's focused. That let me know that both fighters is focused and both fighters understand what they coming up, what they going up against. So Gervonta wanted to make it very, very, and the fact that I know he respected him, because usually when Gervonta Davis going at it with somebody, he really in their face, blah, blah, blah. He was doing that with Frank, but then he started whispering in his ear and they having a personal conversation. People telling them, nah, they got it, back up, they cool, they men, they know each other, chill. Which is something that we also know is true too. So now it's just banter at that point that you know what's going to happen on July 15th. Gervonta making every promise in the book that I'm going to hold you to, too, Gervonta. I want you to know that. So, making every promise in the book. And Frank Martin is something that I respect so much is telling them, well, you're basically going to have to show me, my guy. Yeah, I know you the face of boxing and all that stuff. I get it, my dude. But you're going to have to show me because I ain't Ryan Garcia, Roley, none of those other guys. I am not them. And I love that. I love that, Frank, because as a man, I respect that. If I was in Frank's position, I'd be doing the same exact thing. So I don't care what they say about you. I ain't coming in there showing no, I ain't bowing down to you. So that's just something that this is why I'm so excited for this, man. Like, they didn't even want to get off the stage. Gervonta Davis trying to show him the sparring footage where he heard him and Frank talking about, that's all you showing? That's all you got? That's all you got, man? Listen, I ain't worried about it. None of that. You know what it is. Gervonta Davis was even taking shots at Derek James because if you've been living under a rock and not know that Gervonta Davis and Earl is cool, and I think Gervonta Davis don't quite like what Derek James is doing to Earl Spence. So that's another key aspect y'all need to keep in mind of why this was so heated. If you understand what I'm saying. If you understand, type understand. So Gervonta Davis is basically, he got his guy Earl back, but Earl been running his mouth a lot too. But it's still his man. So that's why he said, man, your trainer coming for a payday. He know what's up. He been training you for a long time. He know what's up. He coming for a payday. Why Gervonta Davis said that is because of everything that he's dealing with Earl Spence. Now, unless you're a casual fan, your casual fans probably didn't catch that. But my diehard fans, I know y'all did. I know y'all did. And David Benavidez, man, him and Govcheck, they was actually being very cordial because I understand this is David Benavidez's first fight up there. I think David Benavidez fought up there earlier in his career, but that's his real first fight up there for real, for real. They don't really know too much about each other. So David Benavidez is a pretty humble guy, so he's not going to create something that's not there. But I'm just happy that both fights, even Govcheck, because Govcheck may have lost, but Govcheck is a very, very good fighter. He was up there. He was a title holder, the whole nine. So he gets a chance to redeem himself, and never underestimate a man that is trying to redeem himself, because if he beats David Benavidez, that's throw his name right up there. And we got to talk about Beterbiev and Bivol not happening. Shout out to my man Knockout Boxing, who broke the news on that today. So we'll talk about that in a couple days coming. But just the fact that David Morrell and David Benavidez, and I just love what David Benavidez said about him not keep chasing Canelo, because he's able to say that. And it's the same things I tell y'all that Shakur Stevenson need to do with Tank. Put the guy in a position to duck you, where everybody in the public is on your side, and they're going to support your career and your decisions, even if you don't fight that man. Ain't nobody looking at it like Canelo and David Benavidez not happening, not because of Benavidez, though. Everybody knows that. And as long as the whole boxing, that's probably the one thing right now that I'll say 90% of the 85% of the boxing community, we all agree with. So yeah, man, it's getting spicy, man. Great conference, man. I'm just very excited to see this fight. Y'all know that Tank Davis, my guy. Y'all know that David Benavidez is my guy. Y'all know that Frank Martin is my dude, man. And I really like Frank Martin. I think he's one of the best, one of the most underrated fighters, one of the best fighters in boxing. Also, I think he catch a lot of heat because he's quiet, and the people he run around with have had a lot of controversy, I'll say, from Earl Spence to Derek James to Ryan Garcia to even Anthony Joshua being in their camp. So he kind of forgot about with Jamel Charlo and them leaving Derek or whatever the situation was. I don't know if it's Jamel or Jamal that was with Derek, but at the end of the day, it was a lot of smoke around that camp, and I think Frank Martin took hits because of that. But we here now, and Frank Martin is doing everything he can to show people why you should be interested in me. I know it's plenty of people now are going to go look back at Frank Martin fights that didn't know about him, and now is going to tune in and lock in and be excited to sell this fight. So I just say, man, that was a wonderful first press conference to get people interested in it. Through all the stuff that's going on in boxing right now, they done stole the thunder back again. So I mean, it was so like the minute Tank and them went up there, y'all, it was 10,000 people in the watching, viewing. The minute they went up there, it jumped to 18,000 from the door. I was like, wow, like, so people are very interested in this fight. When you got 20, 30,000 people in a live for a press conference, that's pretty amazing. So y'all already know what this is, man. Deem by any means. And I'll holla at y'all.